All right, folks, welcome back to the Knives Fast channel. It's time to take a look at two Poikilo Vulpex collabs that are pretty sweet. These come from awesome loyal viewer Fred the Lug. I had been talking to Poikilo since, by the way, I did a video on their Alchem, which is that crazy knife that the blade morphs and transforms and it has a tuning fork and vibrates. I had on YouTube, my short from Blade Show has done 2.5 million views, and my TikTok video on it is over 3 million views. And so I was talking to them and just saying, hey, I'd love to check out more of your stuff. And they're like, hey, we're sending some stuff to Fred the Lug. Well, Fred's my buddy, and we'll see if Fred will send it to you. And Fred was already planning on it. So there we go. Really, really cool. Now, these are two knives that are, again, Vulpex designs. That's why they are called the VK-Zen, okay? I was trying to front flip it, and it's not a front flipper. I'm crazy. And the VK-Zame, okay? And that's because they are from Vulpex knives. So we're going to check these out. They are both in M398. And look at their packaging, guys. It is really, really cool. They have these patches, and it comes in this really sweet pouch with the gecko on there. I like it a lot. Here's the other one. So they both came in these really cool pouches. And then it appears they come with these really cool cards. I see one in the two we have here. So that is cool as a metal card. And we will go over this and we will check these out. Okay, so we're going to start with the Zen, guys. This is the VK-Zen. You can see the Vulpex logo there. You can see the Poikilo blades logo there. We are DLC on this sucker. That's one of the reasons I stopped for a moment, just to get this guy good and cleaned up, and just a beautiful knife. Now we have purple backspacer, purple clip, and a purple lovely pivot here. We have M398 as the steel. Now this is hidden hardware, if you will. You can't find the hardware back here. You just see the pivot. And so the clip is screwed from the inside. The scales are attached from the inside. So really cool looking design. Beautiful looking backspacer with those holes. Now this is a one-sided, so not for you lefties, sorry, or back or reverse flicking. This is a one-sided thumb stud knife. Now I will tell you, it is a frame lock, and I've had some issues. This has a very strong detent, and you cannot see this. Golly, you cannot be on that lock bar at all to flick this guy. It has a very, very, very strong detent. Now this one, best of show at Blade Show Texas, and it also won best import folder, and I can see why. Ergonomically, this is fantastic. You do have kind of a choil area that leads up to the blade, and good relief of the of the blade edge there, so you can sharpen. I love this blade shape, and the reason is it is a very aggressive cutter, guys. Very thin and slicey. You can see it is a tall flat grind, and it is just a heck of a cutter with that kind of belly going up here and then straight and right at that elevated tip, which means you get a plenty of belly, but you still have a low enough tip to get in here and cut like that. Now it is contoured, as you can see, or really it's kind of flat, but it is contoured because of these big chamfers and the tilt to the scale. You do have good access to the lock bar. Now there is not a chamfer, so you do kind of feel that edge a little bit. It is knocked down just slightly. I just wish there was a slight chamfer, and you can look through there and see your lock bar insert. There we are locked up at about 20%. We come all the way out to that indent in the backspacer, dead centered, very nice. Now, again, my only real issue with this knife is, again, it's a little difficult for me sometimes because I'm old and clunky to open. Now, if I get my fingers just right and I'm riding that clip, then it is fine. But it is a very strong detent. But again, feels wonderful in the hand. The clip is not even close to being a hot spot. Now, there's no real jimping. There's just these holes here that don't really help with grip. But because we have an indention up here, it feels kind of like you would expect on kind of a Rhino or, wow, what's the word, Casey? Anyway, a normal resting area. Now, you have a slight swedge, but it stays thick enough, wide enough there for you to get your thumb out here and not have an issue. Now, the VK-Zen is, again, award-winning, which is really cool. The only place I can find them available is at edclifestyle.com, $470. And again, designed by Vulpex Design. Blade edge is 3.18. Overall length 7.35. The handle is 4.3. Plenty of room, and again, a little bit area to choke up, and 3.2 ounces. They don't give me a whole lot of other details about the knife. I'm not sure, really. I see a little scuff right here on the handle. I carried it one day, but I don't think I did that. So I'm not positive if the handle is PVD or DLC. It sure looks like DLC, but the blade is definitely what I call regular DLC. Very cool indeed. And a really nice knife. Now, when we are locked up, almost forgot to do this, no blade play, but again, we are very thin, no lock rock. As a matter of fact, let's just see what we do have here as far as handle thickness, 0.46, and as far as, let's find the thickest spot, which is going to be right there, I think, 0.10. 0.10, yeah, 0.12 back here, and 0.10 where it thickens up a little bit, 0.110. There we go. All right, so very cool. Again, you can see here, not super, I believe it to be on bearings. I have looked, again, the tolerances are very tight, but it looks like bearings. They don't really tell me in the paperwork, but again, you can see definitely drops to my thumb, but it's kind of more hydraulic on the drop, which is really, really nice. So, all right, let's put this off to the side, and you can see I've gotten used to thumb flicking it. I think if there was a tiny bit more room of access there, it might be a little bit easier as well. Now, this is the VK-Zen Zame, which is also known as the Shark. And this one was the production run for Blade 2025. So it was born in June of 25. Titanium with a crystal tie bolster. Bowler M398, pearlescent stonewash. And that is stinking, well, it's not even in focus, Casey. You're showing people and they can't even see it. So there's their information. Here's this for you. I apologize. When I'm shooting the way I am, it's hard because my light is right above my phone. It's hard to see sometimes, but I apologize. All right, so we have the Zame. Now, you can see the Zame is also not a super dropper. It comes to my thumb, and it is more of a shakedown kind of thing. It is dead center, and it is, guys, a lovely integral knife with a cutout there for your lanyard. By the way, neither of these have a reversible clip. If you're asking, this one does have a hog's nose for your lanyard, and this one has a hole for your lanyard. Beautiful titanium with these accents milled in and a crystal tie bolster fit over. Again, that covers up your pivot. Not sure exactly how you get to that. I have not tried to take this apart. Looks like maybe you get in there and take that off. I don't know for sure. Again, if I sound dumb, I apologize, but I don't know. Didn't get a lot of information with these in that regard. Now, your clip is, again, a titanium clip. I forgot to show you over here. You have about that much sticking out of the pocket, and you have about that much sticking out of the pocket. Not bad at all. They both carry very slim and slender. no problem at all. This one has a flipper tab. Now your flipper tab has some jimping on it. Your front flipper has jimping. I will not call this jimping aggressive. You can smoothly rub your finger across both. I wish it was a little more aggressive. Now, does it work? Sure. Yeah, no problem there. And no problem there. Okay, and you also have a hole. I'm not supposed to be doing that, but I did it anyway. Because of my finger. I cannot thumb flick it because I end up putting too much pressure on the lock bar. Let's try it back here. No, I cannot do it. There's not a ton of room here to do that, and I'm putting pressure on that lock bar no matter what I do. Now, clip does ride. I mean, in both cases, the clip does not ride on the backspacer, so if you can ride that clip, you're good. Your cutout is nice and smooth on both. On the lock bar cutout. Again, we have a steel lock bar insert. We have a nice cutout, and we do have a chamfer this time. So very nice. Lockup is only about a 10 to 15, but I mean, it's not going anywhere. You're locked up like crazy. And again, we are dead centered, and just everything fits together so well. Now, I am not sure on this one whether it is bearings. Let's see. Let's look. I did find this one at Blade HQ. It's a more recent one, so it is available at Blade HQ, and we will see if they tell me if it is on bearings. And I just am not getting a lot of information. Well, oh well, let's do the specs while we're here. We're at 8.25 inches with a 3.50 inch blade, M398, 4.10 ounces. It is made in China for Poikilo blades. Don't know who the manufacturer, if they make their own stuff or if they have a manufacturer do it. I'm not sure. Again, they're a new company to me, so I apologize. And really cool. Love the frame lock. Very secure on cutting. We'll cut here in just a second. And again, we are stonewashed on that blade. There's your Poikilo and your Vulpex logos on there. And you kind of have a little fullerish cutout in the hole as well. It's just a beautiful knife. Now, 4-finger grip. My only issue here is this one is a little narrow right here. So if you bear, and it's over the top, which is what I asked for, I know. But if you bear down really hard right there, it is a little thin. Now, no jimping up here. And you do have a swedge, but again, thick enough, no problem. You can choke up, and there's plenty of relief for sharpening. And you know what? It feels fine for cutting, and it is not a problem. And really, really cool. So I don't know if it's on bearings. I almost believe it's on washers, just how more firm it is. Not super, like, you see what I'm saying. It doesn't move super easily, but it is very hydraulic and smooth, if that makes sense. So I would almost guess this guy is on washers. Okay, let's cut with it. Again, high flat grind. Again, definitely fantastic cutter. Wouldn't expect anything less. Nice and sharp. Good to go. Now, again, you have this kind of swoop down here. Another interesting blade shape. Again, more of a drop point on that one and more of kind of a sheep's foot or Warncliffe or something on this one. Really, really interesting indeed. Now, again, I don't know if I told you the price on the Zame. The Zame is $580. It is an integral. It does have the crystal tie, so I get that. Now, let's do our comparisons. So these two together, there you go. There is the Zen and the Zame. And then, of course, I've made a disaster area here. So Ontario Rat 1 is quite bigger than both. And the Ontario Rat 2 is going to be just smaller than the Zen and quite smaller than the Zame. And we use these because they're great measuring sticks. The Tempest Knives Microburst is a 7-inch knife, and the Tempest Knives Pinion is an 8-inch knife. You can see very similar. The Pinion is a little bit shorter than the Zame, and bigger than the Zen, and the Microburst and the Zen are very similar as well. So very, very cool. Thank you to Poikilo for sending these out to Fred and then on to me. I appreciate that very, very, very much. These are very cool. Now, for those of you that are on here looking for a less expensive knife, these are not that, but these are precision made, again, hidden hardware, integral. I mean, just fantastic knives indeed. With a couple of things to talk about there, which is fine. And again, it's just a brand that I am super excited to check out. So like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think down below. And make sure you've hit that notification bell to all. And thanks for watching the Knives Fast channel.